All right, well, we are headed back out. We are headed back out to go do some dip netting. A little bit of dip netting redemption here. Last time we did not catch that many fish. It was only about 10 fish that we caught. And so, you know, that's just not enough to fill the freezer. And we just got really unlucky. And yeah, so we are headed back out to the beach there off of the Kenai River access.
Yeah, so check the fishing reports and they post the day after. And yesterday was super hot for fishing. So we are going to try to get out there and get our share while it's still hot. So come along with us and see how we do.
Yeah, wish us luck here, all right?
All right.
All right, what's that perfect? Woo, see a daddy guy. Whoa!
There we go.
Can you get the hammer? Yeah.
All right. Wow, look at that fishing. I got a rock too.
Glad it was both and not just a rock.
Yeah, we forgot our thing, but at least I have a hammer in the truck.
Yeah, it works just as well. Good job, buddy, helping daddy. He's making you work for him.
That's for sure. There it is.
Woo! High five.
Woohoo! Pound it for daddy. Pound it. Bing.
Here, do family
Family pound it. Bing. Is daddy hand messy?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's silly. Yeah, I'm gonna go clean it real quick.
It's a good sign.
Yeah. Daddy hopes.
That is so cool. How to prevent that from happening.
Another beauty. Big one though. Oh God, yes. Another one. Nailing it, man.
At least they're showing up for everybody, man.
Heck yeah. I mean, it was nice when it was just behind you, but I'll take it
Either way.
I'll take it either way. Oh man, do I have it still? Oh, it doesn't feel very good.
There's so long of a distance.
Oh, it is good. It is good. It's just tired.
There's another one. There we go. Another one. Almost full cooler. All right, almost a full bucket. Well, all right. Even though it was a long day, it was a very successful day, and I'm very glad that we went out after work today to go dip netting again. Last time it was really rough. We went out 3 different times, and this time we caught 35 fish. And so we're really glad that we were able to catch all those fish and fill the freezer. I probably could have stayed and caught even more. I mean, the fish were just really coming in. We were hammering them out there. Everybody was having a good time, and it's funny how you can see the mood and attitude of everything change when people are catching out there. But it was a real good time, and it was so dark out there because I mean right now it's 2 a.m. and yeah, it was just really dark, and it was hard to see and hard to use any cameras, but I tried to do my best to get a good view of what was going on, at least before it got too dark.
So the kids and I were with Blake in the beginning for a couple hours, but it started to rain and it was getting late, so I took the kids home. We had dinner and did all that stuff, relaxed for a little bit, and then we went back and got him, and I'm glad that we got our fish, and yeah, I can't wait to cook them up with you.
Yeah, we got a lot more smoking to do and canning, and so we're gonna get home, clean those fish, and get to smoking in the morning. All right, well there it is, 35 fish, filled the cooler to the top, and the lid won't even shut. It was a lot of success, and we had a really good time. So I'm glad that we got this done and taken care of, and now we have the freezer filled and got a lot of wonderful fish to eat. All right, so that took about 2 hours for me, but it was a lot faster for you. And our next step is to start smoking these fish, and then we're gonna move on to canning a lot of it and freezing a lot of it. All right, well there we are, about 3/4 full of just salmon fillets. That's a lot of weight right there. Let's go give them their big fishy bites. All right. Well, the chickens decided to go in for the night because it's already getting dark, but that should be a ton of fish for them to enjoy, because the last batch they tore up really quickly within a day or so. Look at this. This is Mama's favorite flower, the lupine here. And look, most of the seeds are getting ready. You can see they're black. You see the seeds being black?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're black. That means they're ready to pick, and we can use them for making more lupine next year. That's Mama's favorite, huh? Yeah, Mommy liked the lupine. So we'll harvest the lupine here, so that way we can plant. Ooh, look at these. These are all dried out. Yeah, these are all dried out and ready to be planted for next year. So that's a lot of lupine seeds. They violently pop open and crack and throw the seeds everywhere. See that? As soon as I picked it, it started to break. Whoa! Look at that. They popped open like crazy fast. And that's how they spread their seed.
No.
You see the seed?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it popped open fast.
Yeah.
Look, and the fireweed looks so nice here, huh? Yeah, this is all. No, don't scratch it. You silly boy. All right, well, we collected lots of lupine seeds for Mama. Lots of seeds, huh? Lots of seeds. All right, so like we had said before, we had really good success catching these fish here. We caught a total of 35 fish, which brings us up to 45 fish total that we caught this year via dip netting. But I also had caught quite a few actually just fishing itself. But the dip netting is where it's at. It's super easy, makes it easy to fill the freezer up, and we have a 12 gallon bags worth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and store those in these freezer bags, vacuum seal them. That way they last longer and last throughout the year. I'm going to do about half of them in that, and I'm going to do half of them smoked, and then I'm going to can. Canning really is a nice way to have fish, and so the way we eat it is actually in a dip form, whether or not it goes on sandwich or on chips. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and get this done. I'm going to knock this out. I just wanted to say it was real difficult the first time, because the first 3 days of dip netting, we only had caught in those 10, and that wasn't from lack of trying. A lot of it has to do with timing and luck. But the second time around, we figured out the timing by making those 3 days worth of mistakes. And this being our first year doing this, it was a good lesson learned. And now we know what we need to do in the future and move forward from there. That being said, we learned a lot, And we are glad that we ended up with the fish that we needed this year. So we're going to go ahead and get all of these vacuum sealed and in the freezer. And I'll see you on the other side with the brine and then later canning. The red on these fish is just absolutely stunning. All right, first one done. We probably got about 20 more to go. These small fish like this, I put a bunch of them in here at once because what I'm going to end up doing is smoking these eventually. But yeah, that's the way to do it. This can show you the difference between the red fish here. This one seems a lot darker than this one, but they're both sockeye. I just wanted to show you. That's kind of cool. This one ate a lot better. Even its fat's thicker. Do you see that? Creepy crawly right there. That is a salmon worm. Oh, that's creepy. And that's why you freeze your salmon really hard before you start eating it. Mainly if you're going to try to do it raw. Because that's creepy. Those things can live in you, but don't worry, there's also a cure for that. All right, well, that's about half of it. I am gonna go ahead and take the rest of it and we're gonna go brine it here in just a little bit. So we got half of it ready for freezing for either a fresh smoke some point before next year. And this half of it here, we're gonna smoke and can. So let's go ahead and get this done. Okay, so now it's time to go ahead and chop this up for brining. And the way I like to do it is just like I did last time, basically cutting through the center but not the edges of the skin. So that way it kind of holds together and then I can place the pieces on the grill and smoke it. I also have one of these knives called an ulu knife here. I'll show you real quick here. And got this from the ulu factory itself. And so this blade is curved, so it makes it really good for just chopping straight down and cutting through that center part here without cutting through the edges, because you can kind of sit there and not rock it, but slide it back and forth. And it gives you the effect that I'm looking for, which is to cut that hole in the center to allow for that brine to get in there really well. So I'm just going to go down each one and cut it just like that.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. It's nice, huh? All right. And so there you are. You can see here how I slice those little slices right through. That allows the smoke to get in. And the Inuits here, so this is a native Alaskan knife, but the Inuits here use this knife for just about everything. I kind of like it just for smoking fish. I have filleted a fish with this, but I feel like it's a lot faster for me just to use one of the traditional blades. But when it comes to slicing it for smoking, a curved blade is definitely a lot easier to do this. And so I do that because that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go through all these fish here, and then we're gonna get the brine ready and put the brine in. All right, well, believe it or not, that was a whole lot faster for me. I was able to do all those fish in like less than 20 minutes of chopping them, and that was half of the 36 that we just caught. The ulu knife really did help quite a bit. If I was going to choose one knife, it would be that Dexter knife, but Dexter for flaying, and I do like that ulu knife for prepping. Now, traditionally speaking, the ulu knife is the woman's knife of the Inuit people. But hey, you know what? It made it easy for chopping the sections in order to smoke all that. And Jillian says women are smart.
So we know what knife to use.
So we know what knife to use. And this report is brought to you by Jillian. And Harrison, who's my other boss. Just so you know, I have two bosses. Four if you count real work. Because I got Blakely over there too, who's now telling me what I need to do too. She's not using words yet, but it's more of like grunts and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right, big boy.
But we love you.
Yeah. All right, let's get the brine together. So now for the brine here, what I'm going to be doing, the sugar, salt. Last time I did some garlic. I'm going to refrain from that since I'm going to be canning it and I don't want to ruin it. I mean, maybe it will be good or maybe it won't be good. I don't feel like trying it this time around. I just wanted to go ahead and smoke it with the salt and sugar brine. And it's going to be half and half. So I'm probably going to end up doing 3 cups of salt and 3 cups of sugar for this much fish. So we're going to go ahead and knock that out, and you'll see that in just a second. So we got 3 cups of salt here, 3 cups of sugar here, and we are going to try to melt that with some hot water here. All right. we're gonna try to keep that melted, and then we'll add cold water to cool it back off, and then we'll pour it in with the fish, and then pour the ice in. Because we got to keep this below about 40 degrees, because you don't want bacteria to start to build up. Even though not much bacteria will build up with all the sugar and salt in here, we just want to try to avoid it. All right, so there it is. I'm gonna go pour this in real quick. All right, we're gonna pour this in. There we go. That's good. Put some ice in here to keep it cold. All right, that's gonna be ready to smoke here in about 48 hours. Wow, lots of leftovers. Come on, chickens. Maybe we should go give them some food, huh? This one. Yeah, this one.
Yes. No, that one.
You want Daddy to do it?
No, the cheers.
Okay. Oh, cheers. You want to do cheers? Cheers. Look, there they come. Hi, chickens. All right, let's pour them some food, huh? There you go, chickens. You doing it? Good job. You want to do it together? Yeah. Like this. Ready? Let's back up some. And you're going to take it. And you're going to toss it in there.
More?
There you go. No. All right, chickens. Thank you for helping feed the chickens. You're going to do one more? Yeah. Okay. Do it. Give it to them. There you go. Say, there you go, chickens. You know how to say chicken? Or you like to say ers, huh?
Yeah.
That's okay. Look at this, Harrison.
Wow.
Look at our potatoes. They're growing fast, huh? Are you gonna water? You want to water potatoes a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, let's water potatoes.
No, the high up.
Whoa. Good job. You want to go give those chickens some water?
We'll just sort out that.
Yeah, they're thirsty. Chickens are thirsty, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let's go do it. Okay. Good job.
Turn.
Yeah, you're filling it up for them.
Yes, turn.
Is that fine? You like watering the chickens, don't you?
Yes.
All right, all done. Let's go see how many chicken eggs we got.
Okay.
You want to help me get the eggs?
Oh, the very far.
How much one is that? One? Is that what you say? One? Oh, is that the fake one? That has an X on it. That means that's the fake one. Whoa, look at that. Which one's that? One? Can you count? What is that number? What's that? 2. And what's this one? 3. You got 3 eggs, huh? We only get 3 eggs a day right now because only 3 of our hens are laying, so that's all we get. But soon we're going to have a bunch of hens laying, so... Do you want to go show Mama the eggs?
Yeah.
Okay. How many eggs do you have?
2.
Yeah, and how many does Daddy have? 1. And how many eggs do we have total?
3.
3. Good job. 3 eggs. So these are our eggs here after they got all the fish. And this is a store-bought one here.
Me open the mash.
Yeah, we're just going to show the color difference. Look at that. So this is after all those fish. See how much oranger it is than the store-bought egg. You see the color?
Yeah.
See, does it orange? And what color is this?
Yeah.
Yellow. And what color is this? Orange. You're right. Good job. So you can see the difference between the 2 colors here. This is yellow. This is orange. And that is because of all the mineral and the omega and fat content. So a lot of good healthy fats in homegrown eggs. That's one of the reasons why we raise chickens. Not just to save money, but also to have a healthier egg. All right, so just to recap here, we had a really successful night. We caught a total of 35 fish, and it worked out really well because I was able to take off work and get out there when I didn't have to worry about heading in for work the next day. These fish all seem to be coming in at night after all the boats were leaving. So there's a lot of boats out there that are catching salmon and trying to make their quotas. And even though I know it doesn't affect them 100%, you can definitely tell that it affects the amount of fish that are coming up the river during the day. So the best time that I found was night fishing or early morning fishing. Well, work interrupted early morning fishing for me. So we ended up having to do late night fishing. So that's why it took so long for us to be able to catch all these fish. So this is our redemption, but we're happy we got our limits that we wanted. 45 is a good number for all the smoking and the sharing amongst families and stuff like that. So we're happy with the number that we have. As far as smoking goes, we're going to go ahead and get that done this afternoon. So just to quickly answer some questions that we had, somebody asked, is the game warden there all the time? So the game wardens make their rounds. So one of the times that we actually did not catch any fish when we were out there, they actually stopped and asked about our fish. And I said, well, we had no luck. So they just turned around and left. So they were happy to leave us alone on that. But it seems like the time that I did catch all the fish, they weren't there to ask me. As far as like cutting the tails, you have to cut the tails. And if you don't, you will get a ticket. And you have to count on the day of. So before you leave that site, you have to put your count on a piece of paper and be able to show that in case you do get stopped. Again, if you don't, you could get a ticket, and you could also lose your license for next year. So you don't really want to mess around with that kind of stuff. They're pretty strict about it. There was one more question too about flounders. There is a limit of 10 that you can catch on your permit. The permit allows for us for 55 salmon and 10 flounder. We could have kept our flounder, and I kind of wish we would have, now that I think about it in retrospect, just because it would have been good eating and good fun, but you know, that'll be next year. So we could have kept at least 10 of them, and you do have to put those as a count on that piece of paper as well. So other than that, we got a lot of salmon to smoke, and I want to go ahead and get that done, and then we'll get to canning. All right, so I brined them for 48 hours. I'm washing them off here, and I'm stacking them up here just like I did last time, okay? So this here is gonna smoke for about 8 to 9 hours. I'm gonna leave it overnight because it's actually really late out here. And so yeah, I'm gonna let this smoke up. I got a couple more I'm gonna grab out of here. And I'm gonna wash off all the salt and sugar and throw it up here, just like so. These cuts here really do help a lot with getting the smoke and that brine in there, because it really tenderizes this and toughens this up quite a bit, which is great for whenever you're trying to smoke something. And then I'm going to can it. When I can it, it's going to also really soften it back up. But, you know, we really like it in the dip form. And there's a whole lot of stuff you can do with canned salmon. But first we have to make it through this whole smoking and canning process, which is very time consuming. All right. I think this is probably good enough to fit in here. We can always smoke another batch. I don't want to overcrowd it. I want them to make sure they can get enough smoke. But yeah, that's a lot of beautiful fillets there.
All right. That fish looks excellent.
All right, so we showed you guys our sourdough starter and jar on our last video, our camping video, and we asked you guys what you thought about it. And you guys have just given us so much great feedback. We talked about possibly selling it. From the comments, it looks like most of you are willing to give it a try. Some of you have never tried sourdough starter, and some of you said that you've had trouble in the past with sourdough starter and you'd like to give ours a try. So we're super excited about that. We're going to be posting an Etsy link on our next video, so make sure you guys tune in. It'll have all the information on how to buy our sourdough starter kit.
All right, well, we ended up with quite a bit of bags of smoked salmon, so I ended up doing 2 batches of smoked salmon. We're gonna do about 16 cans of smoked salmon this time around. We might do more later. Right now, that's all we need. We'll go through those. And so I'm gonna keep some of the smoked frozen so that way I can have it fresh for dip, and some of it canned, just because I want to make sure I like it canned first. All right, so like we've done in the past, when it comes to canning, you like to boil your jars. We take these lids off, throw them to the side. The top lid is going to go into this pan here, and we're going to bring that up to a boil and turn it off. That way it kind of keeps everything clean and also softens the wax for the canning process. Some say that it helps with the sealing, so hopefully that's the case. If not, let me know down in the description. All right, so these have been boiling for a while. We got them nice and clean. We're gonna go ahead and bring them in and start working on our canning. 16.
14.
16.
What?
Yeah, lots of them. All right, so even though you can add flavors like dill and garlic and other spices to your fish, I'm actually going to put these without any spices because I want to add all that to the dish after I open up the can. I like them fresh like that. I think they taste a whole lot better. To me, canned herbs just don't taste the same as fresh, and I really like the fresh herbs mixed with my salmon. So I'm going to put the fish in here just as is. And it was, again, brined in salt and sugar. So it does have a little bit of that extra salt in there. And it tastes really, really good. So we're going to go ahead and get all these canned up here. And I'm just going to be packing this because what I want is to be able to just pour it out and smash it and use it as a dip. So yeah, let's get this started.
Go watch. You want to go watch? Go watch.
One of the nice things about smoking salmon is that I can peel that skin right off, no problem after I'm done. So it's very easy. I can just peel and grab and go. And the fat stays with it, so that way I can can the fat there. So that's an option if you want. But some people just like to can it with the skin. I'm going to give this particular skin right here to the chickens. I wanted to point out too that as you can see here, the bones are still in the fish. Now all that's going to be dissolved whenever the canning process goes because the bones won't survive that 100 minutes of canning process. All right, so now that we got all the salmon packed in there, we are going to go ahead and start wiping off the tops of the jars. We're going to do it with a dry towel first, and then we're going to do it one with a towel that has some vinegar on it. And you want to use vinegar because if you don't get that oil off of it, sometimes that wax has a hard time sticking. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that. So we went ahead and we boiled some water with some vinegar in it. And then after it was boiling, we put these lids in there so that way they would get cleaned and make sure there's no oils on them from our hands. And we're just going to go ahead and take these lids and pop them on here. All right, and last but not least, we're going to screw on the lid rings, and you want to do it to where it's hand tight. So we're just going to screw them on first to line everything up. All right, we're going to make them hand tight. Not too tight, just hand tight, which depending on who you are, that could be real tight, but you want it to be able to just very easily pop. So, because you want the idea behind this is that the air can heat up here and escape, leaving only behind the liquid in the meat. So hand tight, like this hand tight, where you can just undo it very simply. All right, now when filling this up with water, there are little notches here that you can see, and you're basically adding what's equivalent to like 3 quarts of water, but it doesn't hurt to have more. It does hurt to have less because it just depends on how long you're going to be cooking it and how cold the temperature is outside. So the temperature is kind of dropping out there because it's getting late, but we're just going to add it to where it's not going over the top of our jars, but we want it up to about midway to 3/4 of the way. But I am going to fill it up to about here for that. All right, so we're going to bring the canner up to a boil so it starts venting off a little bit. Now we are using a rocker, so it's not so important that I use the whole 10 minutes of venting because the rocker is going to be letting out steam the entire time and letting the pressure build up in there. The rocker at least has a regulator. The way the rocker regulates it is it allows only 10 pounds of pressure to be in there, otherwise it starts rocking back and forth and letting the steam out. So that's an easy way to deal with this. But we're going to go ahead and let that bring up to a boil and vent, and then we'll put our rocker on and we'll watch it. It's going to be 100 minutes after we put that rocker on there. So 100 minutes from them and we should be good to go. Looks like our pressure lock just hit. So we are going to go ahead and put on, we're going to drop the temperature a little bit here because I don't want to be blowing off steam. Drop the temperature a bit, and then I'm going to put this on. And let's see if we start rocking here. All right, well, it's rocking. Now that shows the pressure, but you can't trust that pressure. You got to rely on the rock. And so when it's dancing like that, that's how you know that you have a good canning pressure. You want it rocking like a hula girl. So I'm starting the 100 minutes now. And so while we're doing that, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to have a snack here. We're going to use some of the leftover bag of smoked salmon. And I'm going to make a fresh smoked salmon dip with you with some homemade mayo. All right, so this recipe is really, really easy. Now I like to use my own homemade mayo because, well, first of all, the recipe is easy to do. But second of all, it's better for you and it tastes better in my opinion. So I'm going to make this homemade recipe. It's very, very easy. I just use Dijon, salt, vinegar, 1 egg, and I prefer to use this Simply Light Taste olive oil by Pompan, and it's really, really good. And it's not only better for you than regular mayo, it really tastes so close. It really does taste so close. Now there are ways to do it. If you don't want to use something like olive oil, you can go ahead and use lard, which is kind of interesting, like bacon grease, which has a really good flavor also. But we're going to go ahead and do this real quick. It's very, very simple, and we're going to walk through it real quick. So now, if you don't have a hand blender, you can actually use a food processor. Or if you got really strong hands, you can whip it yourself. So first up, we always take the egg. We're going to crack that in here. And the egg, you're going to give a blend. All right. From there, you are going to add... Are you going to help Daddy with making the mayo?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Like this.
So we got our egg blended here. And now we're going to add a half a teaspoon of salt there. We're going to add a tablespoon of our Dijon mustard. Dijon mustard, that's right. Good job. And then we're going to take a tablespoon of vinegar.
No fault.
Oh, okay, no fault.
No hold this.
So we're going to blend this quickly. All right, so that was about 20 seconds. From there, you're going to start adding your olive oil. You're going to add a whole cup of olive oil, and we're going to add it real slow like. So about a whole cup. And you add it real slow. So we're going to add just a little bit and start blending.
Done?
It's getting thicker. All right, so now we're at the point where it's actually, we got ourselves some really thick mayo here. To finish it off, I still need to add almost another 1/4 of a cup. So I'm going to go ahead and add that and blend that in. All right. Well, just so you know, we made mayo and it only took 13 minutes, even with Harrison coming to help me, huh? Okay. I'm going to take this part off first, just so it's out of the way.
No, that's way. That's all.
Yeah, and you want me to lift this up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Heavy. Whoa.
And you're going to help?
Yeah.
We're going to scrape it off, okay? There you go. Good job. Look at how thick that mayo is, huh?
Whoa.
Isn't that thick?
Yeah, the me.
Is it good? Thanks for helping Daddy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and use the mayo and make our dip real quick. Yeah, you want to help Daddy make the dip? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
All right.
All right.
So we're going to take our salmon. Does that look good?
Yeah.
Good. Take our leftover salmon here.
All right.
I'm going to pull some of the skins off. Those can go to the chickens, huh? The chickens like that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like that.
They like that, huh?
Yeah, like the fishies.
They like the fishies.
Yeah. Wait, Daddy.
So just like on our camping trip, I'm looking to get most of these bones out of here. So I'm going to smash this up here. All right, so we got some leftover mayo that we made earlier this week. This is also our homemade mayo. It's the exact same thing. You can see how when it cools, it kind of lightens up a little bit. I also did add a little bit more mustard than normal to this one, but you can just see it's very nice mayo. So we're gonna go ahead and pour this in here. All right, I like to add a little extra mustard.
Right?
Yeah, we're gonna add a little extra salt.
Right? Fishies.
Yummy fishy salt. All right, and we're gonna add. All right, so we're adding our dill. It's a big deal, huh, Harrison?
Yeah.
Yeah, big deal.
Me too.
We like a lot of. I like a lot of dill.
Mommy.
Oh, did it get dill on you?
Yeah.
You sit down.
Right.
And we got our pepper.
This.
And of course, I like this, which is not normal, but it's basil. And there we go. Let's mix it together, huh? You want to help Daddy mix? Mix, mix, mix. Yeah. Woohoo. There you go. And I almost forgot, but we also need to add the lemon juice.
The wash. I know the wash.
And I always give a good splash of the lemon juice, so we're going to mix that up. What do you think, huh? Does that look good?
Yeah.
Good. All right, and there we are. Very easy recipe. Here, I'll let you take a look at it real quick. Looks fantastic. Love all that dill and all those herbs in there with the homemade mayo and homemade smoked salmon. Okay, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
So good. And I really like my own homemade mayo being in there because you know you're getting a lot of those really good oils from that. Very, very good. Absolutely amazing.
No more.
All right, well, we knocked all that out in about 20 minutes. So we still got another hour and 20 minutes, and then our fish will be done, and we'll take those cans out. I'll see you in about an hour and 20 minutes.
Say more.
Oh, you want to give me a bite?
Yeah.
Nom, nom, nom. Oh. The sun is definitely going down a lot faster nowadays. But we are done. We did our 100 minutes. So we're going to get this off here. And we're going to let this cool down for about 10 minutes and get them inside. Well, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time on Good Living Alaska. Have a good night.